The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as hamiltonradio.net, Diamonds FM, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosinzia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosinzia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forbes, Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for it goes Missing by Mia Mosinzia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms and heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, now being heard on hamiltonradio.net. Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and a few coming to your network near you. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, baseball gear, and more. Makes great gifts 24/7. Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosinzia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and phone cases, and more. Go to the merchandise section, Amazon.com/Mia Mosinzia. Check it out today. Also support us on Anchor FM, PayPal, the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with Amazing Lay, who is an award-winning folk rock singer-songwriter for Boulder, Colorado. She runs a nonprofit for 14 years. She did run it for that time, which promoted innovative, locally sustainable health and also economic sufficiency programs in Nepal, which is called All Together Now. And she also performed the Sundance Film Festival, the Colorado Rockies, opened up for Shemkin Copeland at Eton on several European tours. And she's got a brand new release called Happy Day. We'll talk about that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studio, somewhere in the beautiful Rocky Mountains, the amazing award-winning folk rock singer-songwriter from Boulder, Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Jenn Cleary. Jenn, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
What's great to have you on board as well, too. So you're an award-winning folk rock singer-songwriter from Boulder, Colorado. You ran a nonprofit for 14 years, which promoted innovative, locally sustainable, and health and economic sufficiency programs in Nepal, which is called All Together Now. You performed at the Sundance Film Fest, Colorado Rockies, open for Shemkin Copeland at Eton, also several European tours and more as well, too. You have a new album out called Happy Day, and you also had some other releases as well, too, like Blues from the Heart, Back to the Wheel, Breakin Loose, and more. And before we get into all that, Jenn, tell us how you first got started.
Just say that again. Tell you what?
Tell us how you first got started.
Oh, first got started. Yes. I got started. Well, I was just loved playing music, but really the professional part of music didn't happen until I was in my 30s. I had I had a health crisis at that time where I thought I was losing my vision. And so I was on the couch for months at a time trying to get well. And I got really depressed and discouraged and thought I was, could go blind and all that. And so that's when I felt like I really got into the depth of my music and the soul of my music, instead of idealism, which I was singing before. My voice changed, the depth of my voice changed, and the songwriting got a lot more meaningful and connected to people on a deeper level. So that's when it all started.
Okay. And what was it one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
I would say just being out there and performing and connecting with other people and seeing the response from people and people coming up and saying, wow, that really meant a lot to me. And not realizing how deeply you could touch people with your music and your words.
Mm-hmm. And who are some of your favorite singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up?
Growing up, James Taylor, Joni Mitchell, Janis Joplin, a lot of the classic 60s, 70s rock and blues singers. Bonnie Raitt still is amazing. Followed the Dead for a while, just some really great music.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of great music indeed, too. And you also have some great music as well, too. You got Blues from the Heart, Back to the Wheel, Breakin Loose. We'll talk about those in just 1 minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even beloved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. 4 Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries. Also heard on hamiltonradio.net, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and coming to a network near you. Take The Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. For great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. Also support us on Anchor FM, PayPal, TheMikeWagnerShow.com, and buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at The Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with award-winning folk rock singer-songwriter from Boulder, Colorado, Jenn Cleary here on The Mike Wagner Show. Well, first of all, before we talk about your music, you ran a nonprofit for 14 years, which you promoted innovative, locally sustainable health and economic sufficiency programs in Nepal, which is called Altogether Now. And tell us about this program and what inspired you to start it.
I was doing a lot of world traveling back in the day, and I ended up spending a lot of time in Kathmandu volunteering in a medical tent. And one time a child walked into the tent with her family and she was dying of a severe scoliosis. And I took her all around Nepal to try to find help, couldn't find help, and ended up coming back to America and was able to line up medical help for her here, bring her here, saved her life, ended up adopting her because she couldn't go back because she was so sick. She's fine now, but she couldn't at the time. So then out of that, I decided to help other people, but I realized I couldn't keep bringing people here. So I wanted to help people in other countries in their place. So started fundraising, working with doctors to create programs over in Nepal so that the surgeries would be available over there.
So how did you end up in Nepal?
Just traveling. I was just a young traveler, and Kathmandu struck me very deeply and ended up spending a lot of time there. And I still go back there frequently to visit the people I know and still do what I can there.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, some of the other countries as well, too. How about some of the other ones that you also been around in? What are some of the things that really stood out for you in terms of traveling, helping people, and everything else, especially with your foundation Altogether Now?
Yeah, I mean, just traveling through, I did a lot of traveling through Europe, and which was a beautiful country, but also fraught with its own challenges and all that. And spent a lot of time in India and was moved also there to help, and in Africa as well. So I've done just a lot of third world travel, and then just felt like I really wanted to do something to make a difference.
Mm-hmm. And what was your favorite country that you were in?
Nepal by far. That's the one I went back to over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And I have many friends. And now because I adopted a child from there, her family is still there. So we actually it's like a big extended family.
That sounds really interesting. Maybe you could probably play over there too one day in Nepal. And
I actually, let me tell you, I sponsored a child over there when he was 11. He's almost 40 now, and he has a cafe. And so when I go back there, it's called Romsterdam. I play in the cafe, and it's the coolest place in Kathmandu to listen to music. It's absolutely fantastic. Check it out if you're ever over there.
And we certainly will do so. I'll hike over there, and I'll just remember to follow your footsteps too. So I will remember that. And you performed in Nepal. You also performed at the Sundance Film Fest, Colorado Rockies over Coors Field, one of my favorites. Also, you opened for Shemkin Copeland at Eton and several European tours. And you can tell us about some of that, especially performing for the Colorado Rockies. Had to be something.
Well, that was exciting because when I first started this journey in 2006, I came out with an album and it was starting to play. And one time on our biggest rock station here called KBCO, Clint Hurdle of the Rockies, the manager at the time, was being interviewed, and he was asked who are the big up and coming artists in Colorado. And he said my name. And
really?
Several people call me and say, did you just hear what happened on KBCO? And so I got up the courage and I called Clint Hurdle, and he called me back and he invited me into a couple of games. And I had two boys at age 9 and 11 playing Little League at that time. And baseball was everything. We were going to the games already, and I was helping coach, and baseball was our life. And so Clint Hurdle asked us to come in, and we got to meet whoever we wanted on the team. We came in early. We got to meet Todd Helton and Troy Tulowitzki and Matsuki, all these different players. And my kids, I was the biggest mom hero at the time. Of course that faded over time, but I was a super mom at that time. So it impressed the kids. So it was such a highlight. It's these little things that music has brought me. I'm not trying to be rich or famous. I'm really just trying to make connections with people. And that was just a wonderful thing to be able to share with my children.
It's a major wonder too about Clint Hurdle. It's just like, how do you come across your music and how do you hear about you? And people are like, it's like, Clint Hurdle mentioned your name. It's like, how did he first hear about you?
I don't know. Oh, I know he just saw my CD online, happyscratch.com. I think he bought it on there, just local musicians. And then he was playing it in the clubhouse. With all the other players, and then he invited me to come sing. After that, he's like, well, we want you here. So I got to play for years at the opening gate as people walked in. I would have my rock band there on a Friday night as people walked into the game and play my music.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure the Rockies have won just about every game, or they try to. So,
well, what was exciting was that year they got into the World Series, or was it the following year? Yeah, they got into the World Series. So we actually ended up getting season tickets and went to tons of games and really got into it. But they're heartbreakers, man. They're hard. They're hard to watch sometimes. Mm-hmm. They trade away all their good players, and just when they're like so amazing, they trade them away. So it's a little bit of a love-hate relationship.
It sounds like all 32 teams in baseball, including my beloved Cubs, so we were heartbroken for 108 years before we finally beat Cleveland. And I told a group of pastors from Cleveland who are watching the game and said, we'd be praying for you guys, and you guys win the World Series next year. And they want us to win the World Series that year. I said, no, we're going to win one probably in another 109. So we went through 108 heartbreaks already before we finally won one. So, and I'm sure there's other heartbreaks too. Like the Yankees were heartbroken. Boston was heartbroken. Even like say Arizona or Los Angeles or the White Sox, every team had to be heartbroken somehow. So
yeah, it's tough. And I'm from Boston. So of course I was originally a Boston Red Sox fan, and I still am a Boston Red Sox fan, but then they had to play each other. And then, the Red Sox just creamed them. And that was, it was a little hard. a little hard. It's hard when your two favorite teams come together.
I got some friends who are Red Sox fans as well too, but then they're also friends with some Yankee fans. Of course, those two hate each other as well.
That's a bit tough.
It is, yes. Yeah. But of course, you have to admit too that they just pick up all the high players and everything else. Just like there's a love-hate relationship between Cubs fans and White Sox fans, but you still go to the interleague series and you just still have fun. You still come away as friends. You just have all that. And now they play at the Colorado Rockies. Well, let's hop over to the Sundance Film Fest. And you also open in Eton, several European tours, and maybe just a bit about that too. So
the European tour thing was just fantastic. I started out with just a friend who plays over there, Mike Beck, tours all over, and he has for years. And he invited me to come just open for his band and do some shows. And I had a bunch of friends over there. So he suggested that I try to connect with them. So I ended up setting up house concerts and that's how it all started. And then I went several years in a row as I built up a fan base over there.
Mm-hmm. And then you've been on several European tours as well too. What was your favorite European country to play in?
Switzerland was pretty fun. I was up in Zermatt in the ski resort there for a while, and that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. It had to be a lot of fun too. You also played some great music. You also had Blues from the Heart, Back to the Wheel, and also Breakin Loose. And tell us more about those releases and what inspired you to write them.
My first one was Breaking Loose, and the title says for itself. It was just going from being on the couch, fearing for my life, basically, to let's just get out there and have an expression, even if you're not feeling well and you're uncomfortable and these horrible things are hanging over your head. So that was pretty fun. And I never dreamed I'd have my own rock band and all that. So it was just this really fun album. And then from there, I started to build my skills, and Back to the Wheel, I really dialed in some new music and some real more expressive music. And then Blues Full of Heart was covers, because I was playing a lot of shows where people would ask me, hey, can you sing Janis Joplin, or can you do John Prine, or can you? And so I was able to sing a lot of those covers, and then I recorded the ones that were asked for the most. Me and Bobby McGee is on there. Angel from Montgomery is on there. And then some old classics like Tate Knows Buddy's Business from way back. So.
And that's really interesting too. We'll talk about your latest release, Happy Day, as well too. We'll talk about that in just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international war-ring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with award-winning folk rock singer, songwriter from Boulder, Colorado, and a Colorado Rockies fan, Jenn Cleary, after this time.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with award-winning folk rock singer-songwriter from Boulder, Colorado, Jenn Cleary here on the Mike Wagner Show. We talked about her nonprofit group of 14 years in Nepal, All Together Now, also performing at the Sundance Film Fest, Colorado Rockies at Coors Field, and open up for Shamik and Copeland and Eton, several European tours, and her releases as well. Let's get to your new release called Happy Day, and featuring Magical Music Train, Plantagarden, Imayak. And tell us more about Happy Day and what inspired you to get that going.
Well, actually, last year I started with All Together Now, which was also the name of my nonprofit. So I thought that was a good segue into what I was doing. And so I was stuck at home in the pandemic, and I'd had some children's songs on my previous albums that were big hits when I would play out to festivals and things like that. So I thought, I want to do a full length children's album. So I wrote that last year in 2020, and it ended up getting all these awards and doing really well. And I love the connection with the community, the genre. And I didn't want to have it just be little kiddie music. I'm trying to make it like someone described it in a review yesterday as family pop.
Family pop. I like that genre because I talked to somebody earlier that was part of the kindy segment as well too. You got the indie rock, you got the kids, they call it kindy, and I like that family pop. That's really unique.
It's family pop, yeah. And so that was the Midwest record review. He said, "I'm going to call this new genre family pop." And I'm like, I like that. So yeah, it's kindy kind of music where it's music that the parents can enjoy as well. Positive messaging, educational in some, in many ways. Positive, just really positive, fun music. And that's what I've been playing at the show since I've been, I started with farmers markets and that kind of show. I'd be playing for everybody, not just the kids who were dancing, but the parents, and sometimes have double meaning, where the parents could crack up themselves about, so, there's just different ways to reach. I'm trying to reach a broad group of people, and I'm trying to bring people together in a happy way.
You also have some really good songs too, like Magical Music Train, Plantagarden, Imayak. I like that one, Imayak, and tell us about those.
Imayak is the most remarkable on the album. The child that I told you about from Nepal originally that I adopted ended up writing a memoir about her life called Yak Girl, living in the remote region of Dolpo, Nepal.
Oh, wow.
And on the last year's album, she wrote a song with me called Families of All Kinds, which kind of encompassed her life of living in different family situations. As a yak herder, she had to be off with her aunts or off with her grandparents, home with her parents, always doing different things. And then when she came to an orphanage where I found her, she was there for a while. That was a different life. And then coming here and working in a preschool with all different kinds of people and families. So that was last year's. And then this year's I'm a Yak was to follow up with her life as a yak herder until age 10. And so we ended up doing the song together, and it's just fantastic. We ended up getting footage of yaks in Dolpo, which is rare. There's no roads, there's no electricity. They're still living like they were for centuries up there. Wow. And they rely on the yaks for transportation, for clothing, for meat, although the meat thing is very, very limited. They only take a very small amount for what they need. And so it's kind of like the American bison, buffalo, where, they respect the animal, which is a beautiful thing as well, and don't use more than they need. So we wrote the song together, and we got this great footage. We just put up a YouTube video of it called I'm a Yak. You can look it up on YouTube, of this great footage of these yaks and in this song that we did together.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you got the Magical Music Train as well, too, and a lot of spirit in that. And tell us more about that one.
Magical Music Train. I wanted a lot of these songs I wrote. Half of these songs I did collaborations, which just upped my game to a whole new level because you bring in new ideas from people. And so I've been playing with my harmonica player, Mad Dog Freeman, for years. But we had never written a song together until last year. And so this year I was like, well, what do you want to write about? And he's like, well, blues and trains, let's do something along those lines, but let's make it for children. And so we decided to make it a magical train. And so we just sat down and just created the song together.
That's really interesting too. And also one of the songs that really stood out for me, and this is also applying to a lot of people, Plant a Garden. And of course, it's got a really important message to you. And, tell us about that. And of course, what else inspired you to write as well, too. I've got a garden myself, which is like not just outdoors, but also indoors as well, too. My wife grows an air garden, but planting a garden, that has to be important.
It is important, and I've been a gardener for years, so it just felt like a great basic thing to have kids be enthusiastic about gardening and share that with their parents, whether it's a windowsill of your apartment or if it's out in your half-acre plot, whatever it is, to make it fun and enjoyable. And when I raised my kids, it was a great thing to be able to educate them so that they knew where their food was coming from.
Oh, interesting.
And so we would go out and I would show them things, but then when we had guests come by, they would take them to the herb garden and have them taste the chives and taste the basil and taste the and have them guess what the flavors were. And so for them, it was very exciting. And it was a great way to raise the kids so they really understood where the food was coming from. So yeah, that one I put out as a single, I put it out on Earth Day, and it took off. It's my, so far, I've released 3 singles, and that one just took off immediately on Earth Day. So, but got put on all these playlists on Spotify and Apple and all that.
That's so amazing as well, too. And one more question, don't mind me asking, what are you currently planting in your garden right now?
Well, let's see. I've got tomatoes and I've got onions and I've got a lot, actually. I've got an herb garden that's built up over the last 8 years in the same place. And soon I'll be putting in pumpkins and squash.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's going to be very interesting. Where can we find all your music at, including Happy Day?
jenncleary.com is my website. So that has the most comprehensive information about me, but it's on all the streaming platforms and Pandora and Amazon and all the places, a lot of the places that you mentioned your show is available at as well.
All right, we'll certainly check that out. We're here with the award-winning folk rock singer, songwriter from Boulder, Colorado, Jenn Cleary, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a few more minutes. You've been totally amazing. Learned a lot from you. What else can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Jenn?
Well, I'm really enjoying this genre. I'm debating right now whether or not I want to go back to my bluesy rock music or continue in this genre. It's a question, but I'm about to go out and start performing all these songs, and we'll just see what unfolds from there.
Okay. We're certainly looking forward to that. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, in my career, boy, that's a good question. I would say probably my parents have been just super supportive. I mean, my father was always a crooner at home, didn't think he could sing, but at home, man, he was great and totally inspired me. And he was an entertainer and always the MC at every event. And then my mother's just a really passionate, lovely human being with a lot of love in her heart and generosity. And she's supported me and goes to all my shows still. Nice. My father's passed away, but my mom still goes to my shows and is a big supporter.
That's so fantastic. You got a lot of support. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Don't be afraid to take chances and do what you love. And even if you don't have talent, if you work at it, take some lessons, get some experience, and just try things out and see what happens. You never know what's going to happen.
Certainly a really good idea. Well, we're here with a award-winning folk rock singer, songwriter from Boulder, Colorado, Jenn Cleary, here on the Mike Wagner Show with Happy Day. Jenn, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your works?
Yep, jenncleary.com, or look me up and search me on Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Amazon, et cetera, et cetera.
We will certainly do so. Once again, Jenn, a very big thank you for your time. You've been totally amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all the best. You've got a great future ahead of you, and go Rockies.
Thank you so much, Mike. It's great to be here.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mosin-Zia of Missing. And powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms. And of course on the MikeWagnerShow.com, HamiltonRadio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Thanks for listening.